Okay, and make sure you sit very lightly and gentle. You don't have to be very stiff. Just make sure your body is relaxed and then straight, like your back is also straight, neck. Take your breath out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Keep on breathing for some time, the same way.
Sir, you are in mute.
Just focus on the breathing only. Do not focus anything else. Just keep on focusing. And those of you, if your camera is off, please turn it on because I need to see you. Suvi, Git, Prasiddha, Naman, Jagriti, Digas, Kusang, among them. Please do not speak. Okay, if you have anything, write in the chat box. So again, take a breath in, out, in, out. Just hold your breath until I don't say. Okay, in, out, in, out. Just keep on focusing on breathing, nothing else. Don't think about anything else. Just keep your eyes closed. Okay, do not open it. Just keep on focusing, like just feel the air, like that's exactly the air that's getting inside the nasal cavity, nose area. Just try to feel that, okay, on the tip of your nose. That's the most sensitive part where you can feel most of the things. Normally, that's when like you will feel the pain to sometimes everything. On top of that, that's where you can feel that area very quickly. Okay, just feel the breath in and out. Don't let any thoughts come to your mind. Just focus on breathing only. Don't think about anything else. Even if it's itching, don't go and touch any part of that. Just observe it. Just observe it and be very stable. If you go after that pain or pleasure, then that's when, like, if you go after that pleasure, then you'll get pain as well. So just observe it and do not move your body as much as you can. Just observe that. You might feel you want to touch it, but don't touch it. Just observe it. Make sure the back is straight. Don't like keep on moving. Be very stable. Mind should be stable. The body should be stable. Don't be unstable, moving here and there as well.
Volume 3, Issue 7, July 2014, ISSN 225019912115, PARIPEX, Indian Journal of Research Paper Buddhism and its Relevance.
Okay, let's just close our eyes. Please keep it closed. I will be sharing one podcast right now. I'll be sharing one podcast now. Okay, just listen to the podcast. It's relating to Buddhism based on our Buddha Jayanti today. Just listen carefully to it, okay? And you just keep on breathing. Focus on your breathing only. Don't think anything else. Just listen there, but mainly focus on your breathing. Are you able to hear the sound?
No, sir.
No,
No, sir. There's nothing.
there was no sound coming.
No,
Yes, sir.
no sound.
Okay.
The Buddha taught that the root of all suffering is to
Yes, sir. Now we can hear.
Okay. Please keep listening. Okay.
Issue 7, July 2014 ISSN 225019912115 PARIPEX, Indian Journal of Research paper Buddhism and its relevance in modern world social science DH. Ravichandra Reddy research scholar, Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Keywords Buddhism, modern world, nirvana and noble truths. Abstract Buddhism, as one of the four major religions in the world today, is an empiricistic and anti-metaphysical religion. We can think of Buddhism in terms of three main categories: philosophy, science, and religion. The Four Noble Truths contain the essence of the Buddha's teachings. It was these four principles that the Buddha came to understand during his meditation under the Bodhi tree. Today, in this scientifically and technologically developed global village, though there are many amenities for easy living and pleasure, people are both physically and mentally not satisfied and do not have a feeling of security. Buddhism offers a few very simple and very efficacious methods to combat that. Buddhism has a role to play in our life and a role in which we, from the Buddha's birth land, have an important part to play. Introduction Buddhism, as one of the four major religions in the world today, is an empiricistic and anti-metaphysical religion. What the Buddha taught is not only for the 6th century BC, but it is a timeless Akalika teaching. Surely it can be practiced by the wise during 21st century as well and in many more centuries or millennia to come. Buddhism has a special role to play in the modern world because, unlike many other religious traditions, Buddhism uniquely propounds the concept of independence, which accords closely with the fundamental notions of modern science. Tibetan spiritual leader the Dalai Lama said, "The 20th century was a century of war and violence. Now we all need to work to see that the 21st century is of peace and dialogue." We can think of Buddhism in terms of three main categories: philosophy, science, and religion. The religious part involves principles and practices that are of concern to Buddhism alone, but the Buddhist philosophy of interdependence as well as the Buddha science of mind and human emotions are of great benefit to everyone. The spiritual leader said, while modern science has developed a highly sophisticated understanding of the physical world, including the subtle workings of the body and the brain, Buddhist science, on the other hand, has devoted itself to first-person understanding of many aspects of emotions, areas that are still new to modern science. 2. Noble Truths of Buddhism. Wheel of Life Overview. The Bhava Chakra, the Wheel of Life or Wheel of Becoming, is a mandala, a complex picture representing the Buddhist view of the universe. To Buddhists, existence is a cycle of life, death, rebirth, and suffering that they seek to escape altogether. The wheel is divided into 5 or 6 realms or states into which a material and mental phenomenon can be reborn. It is held by a demon. Around the rim are depicted the 12 stages of dependent origination. This gallery will explain the parts of the diagram. Source, copyright, Falkinas, iStock photo. The Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths contain the essence of the Buddha's teachings. It was these four principles that the Buddha came to understand during his meditation under the Bodhi tree. 1. The truth of suffering, dukkha. 2. The truth of the origin of suffering, samadaya. 3. The truth of the cessation of suffering, nirodha. 4. The truth of the path to the cessation of suffering, magga. The Buddha is often compared to a physician. In the first 2 noble truths, he diagnosed the problem, suffering, and identified its cause. The third noble truth is the realization that there is a cure. The fourth noble truth, in which the Buddha set out the Eightfold Path, is the prescription, the way to achieve a release from suffering. Suffering, dukkha. 3 obvious kinds of suffering correspond to the first 3 sights the Buddha saw on his first journey outside his palace: old age, sickness, and death. But according to the Buddha, the problem of suffering goes much deeper. Life is not ideal and it frequently fails to live up to our expectations. Human beings are subject to desires and cravings, but even when we are able to satisfy these desires, the satisfaction is only temporary. Even when we are not suffering from outward causes like illness or bereavement, we are unfulfilled and unsatisfied. This is the truth of suffering. Buddha's teachings do not end with suffering, rather, they go on to tell us what we can do about it and how to end it. The second noble truth, origin of suffering, samadaya. Our day-to-day troubles may seem to have easily identifiable causes: thirst, pain from an injury, sadness from the loss of a loved one. In the second of his noble truths, though, the Buddha claimed to have found the cause of all suffering, and it is much more deeply rooted than our immediate worries. The Buddha taught that the root of all suffering is desire, tanha. This comes in three forms, which he described as the three roots of evil, or the three fires, or the three poisons. The three fires of hate, greed, and ignorance, shown in a circle, each reinforcing the others. The following depicts the three fires. Volume 3, Issue 7, July 2014, ISSN 2250-1991-216, PARIPEX, Indian Journal of Research Source, Faulkner's, www.bbc.uk/religious. The three roots of evil, these are the three ultimate causes of suffering. Greed and desire, represented by a rooster; ignorance or delusion, represented by a pig; hatred and destructive urges, represented by a snake. Tanha means craving or misplaced desire. Buddhists recognize that there can be positive desires, such as desire for enlightenment and good wishes for others. A neutral term for such desires is chanda. The fire sermon. The Buddha taught more about suffering in the fire sermon, delivered to 1,000 bhikkhus, Buddhist monks. Burning implies burning with the fire of lust, hate, and delusion. We can interpret it as burning with birth, aging, and death, with sorrows, lamentations, pains, greeds, and despairs. The third noble truth, cessation of suffering, nirodha. The Buddha taught that the way to extinguish desire, which causes suffering, is to liberate oneself from attachment. This is the third noble truth, the possibility of liberation. The Buddha was a living example that this is possible in a human lifetime. Nirvana means extinguishing. Attaining nirvana, reaching enlightenment, means extinguishing the three fires of greed, delusion, and hatred. Someone who reaches nirvana does not immediately disappear to a heavenly realm. Nirvana is better understood as a state of mind that humans can reach. It is a state of profound spiritual joy without negative emotions and fears. The fourth noble truth, path to the cessation of suffering, magga. The final noble truth is the Buddha's prescription for the end of suffering. This is a set of principles called the Eightfold Path, the middle way. It avoids both indulgence and severe asceticism, neither of which the Buddha had found helpful in his search for enlightenment. The wheel of the Dharma, the symbol of the Eightfold Path, the 8 divisions, the 8 stages, are not to be taken in order, but rather support and reinforce each other. 1. Right understanding, samadhi, or accepting Buddha's teachings. The Buddha never intended his followers to believe his teachings blindly, but to practice them and judge for themselves whether they were true. 2. Right intention, samma sankappa, or a commitment to cultivate the right attitudes. 3. Right speech, sammavaka, or speaking truthfully, avoiding slander, gossip, and abusive speech. 4. Right action, sammakamanta, or behaving peacefully and harmoniously, refraining from stealing, killing, and overindulgence in sensual pleasure. 5. Right livelihood, samarajiva, or avoiding making a living in ways that cause harm, such as exploiting people or killing animals, or trading in intoxicants or weapons. 6. Right effort, samavayama, or cultivating positive states of mind, freeing oneself from evil and unwholesome states and preventing them arising in future. 7. Right mindfulness, samasati, or developing awareness of the body, sensations, feelings, and states of mind. 8. Right concentration, samasamadhi, or developing the mental focus necessary for this awareness. 3. Relevance of Buddhism in modern world. The 8 stages can be grouped into wisdom, right understanding and intention, ethical conduct, right speech, action and livelihood, and meditation, right effort, mindfulness, and concentration. The Buddha described the Eightfold Path as a means to enlightenment, like a raft for crossing a river. The Buddha was one of those who were very conscious of the many effects of hatred.
Please keep on continuing to like breathe in and out. Do not think of anything else, okay? Just focus on breathing full time. This is itself part of Vipassana, the first stage for Vipassana with Anapana. We're concentrating on breathing mainly, okay? Then only we can proceed further into Vipassana later after that only, which we will not be doing because that is not age appropriate. So yes, itself in the first stage, that is Anapana. Please make sure like you're not moving so much, just remain stable. Don't get distracted by anything, just focus on your breathing only, the nose area only for now. First, we have to master this. Don't think about anything else. Don't let thoughts come to your mind. Keep your back straight. Some of you, your backs are not straight. Just make sure it's straight and eyes closed as well. People meditate for 10 days, 2 months. You can just think about Buddha who meditated for so long time to get wisdom, Buddha, the enlightened one. This is just like a very initial stage to practice it again. Now we'll talk about like this about the relevance of Buddhism in today's modern world. You can just continue with the listening to the podcast right now.
Believe that hatred never ceases by hatred. To the Buddha, the only way to solve it is that one party must stop. Loving kindness, which is the cornerstone of Buddhism, has not been taken by the Buddha as merely a simple ethical principle. He had analyzed the principle of loving kindness into sublime life. The Buddha was one of those who were very conscious of the many effects of hatred. He had seen people ruining themselves as a result of hatred. Buddha believed that hatred never ceases by hatred. To the Buddha, the only way to solve it is that one party must stop. Loving kindness, which is the cornerstone of Buddhism, has not been taken by the Buddha as merely a simple ethical principle. He had analyzed the principle of loving kindness into sublime life. The Buddha also preached karuna, compassion. Compassion is more easily generated. When we see somebody in trouble, our heart moves towards that person and we rush to help him. Last of all comes the fourth aspect of loving kindness, and that is total equanimity, upekkha. We have no friends, no enemies, no one higher and no one lower. We have absolutely no distinctions between one person and another, and are totally merged in a kind of unity with all beings, all things and all situations. So once you are able to live a life in which all these four characteristics govern your actions, there is no place for hatred, rivalry and competition. So this second principle of sila looks after this set of troubles that we would have. Another most significant aspect of the Buddha's preachings is bhavana, meditation. Bhavana means the training of the mind. The word itself etymologically means development, a further development of the mind. The Buddha believed that everything emanates from the man's mind, and that reflects the first line of the first verse of the Dhammapada. A pure mind, a trained mind, a well-developed mind, a mind that can be controlled at will, a mind that does not go on to subjects that are conducive to tension and boredom, but keeps alert, keeps on developing itself, discovering itself and within itself the secret of life, the problems of life and the reality of life, is man's greatest treasure. Today, in this scientifically and technologically developed global village, though there are many amenities for easy living and pleasure, people are both physically and mentally not satisfied and do not have a feeling of security. When the mind is satisfied that the person is free of physical danger, the mind produces an experience of safetyness. In the world today, there. Volume 3, Issue 7, July 2014, ISSN 22501991-217, PARIPEX, Indian Journal of Research References, Buddha Relevant in Modern World, Dalai Lama, this URL. Buddhism in Modern Life, Ananda W.P. Gurugate, this URL. urbandharma.org/udharma3/modern.html, The Relevance of Buddhism in the Modern World, Alexander Berzing, Kiev, Ukraine, September 2011, this URL. Web N Archives, approaching_Buddhism world_today, relevance_Buddhism_Buddha_world, transcript HTML, The Relevance of Buddhism in the Modern World, Princess Queen Kishmai Discord, Buddhist Publication Society, Kandy, Sri Lanka, this URL. And many multinational and multi-purpose projects which advance for the development of countries. But people are not satisfied with what they have. There is no contentment. Craving, grasping, arising and perishing are the main features in the world. When one thinks of modern life, one can think in terms of a great degree of optimism and an equal degree of pessimism. One can be so pleased that we live today at a time when there seems to be nothing that man cannot conquer except few diseases and places in the universe. However, the pessimistic aspect is that we have, in the process, lost something. Buddhism has an application today and has a place in modern life because of its timeless relevance, emanating from a set of eternal values. IV. Conclusion. Modern developments have nothing to offer but insecurity and competitiveness as well as tensions and boredom associated with them. Buddhism offers a few very simple and efficacious methods to combat that. Buddhism has a role to play in our life and a role in which we, from the birthland of Buddha, have an important part to play. It is our responsibility to share our thinking, knowledge and experience with as many as possible so that ultimately we all see that the message of the Buddha continues to reach mankind in every nook and corner of the world.
You may open your eyes slowly whenever you feel like, not immediately also, just slowly, okay, very, very slow on your own timing. So I hope you listen to the podcast based on the teachings of Buddha and the relevance of teaching of Buddha in the modern concept in the modern world. And finally, there's just one video which I'll show you, so which you will just understand about Buddha Jayanti, okay? And then we'll end it for today.
Why do we celebrate Buddha Purnima? Buddha Purnima, also known as Buddha Jayanti, is the day when Gautama Buddha was born on the full moon day of the Vaishakha, April to May. It is said that Buddha was born and attained Mahaparinirvana, leaving the mortal coils on the same day of Buddha Purnima, having lived on this earth for 80 years. Triply auspicious. Also, Buddha attained enlightenment on this day. Therefore, Buddha Purnima is considered triply auspicious by the Buddhists and Hindus all over the world. The other names of this event are Vaishak Purnima and Vesak Day. Siddhartha becomes Buddha. Born as the prince of Kapila Vastu, Buddha was named as Siddhartha by his parents. Before his birth, a prophecy noted he shall either become a great ruler or a great ascetic. In fear of losing the crown prince, the royal family confined him to the portals of the palace. Once during his 29th year, Siddhartha came out of the palace for the first time only to spot a diseased man, an old man, and a dead body on the way. The three sights. These three sights made him realize life is full of sorrow and is just temporary. Siddhartha renounced the princely life at once in search of truth in deep meditation inside thick woods. Siddhartha got the most honored title Gautama Buddha once he attained enlightenment or nirvana. However, Bodh Gaya attracts the maximum number of pilgrims on this day. Buddha Purnima celebrations. Over the years, Buddha Purnima has turned as a social, religious, spiritual and cultural festival. Some of the events organized on this day include Bodhi Dhrum Mela, Sutra Sraban, Sutrapat, Ashtashil, Panchashil, religious speeches and discussions on the Buddhist scriptures, meditation, worship to the Buddha statues, processions and prayer recitals. In fact, the celebrations often last for over 3 days to 1 week. Bodh Gaya on Buddha Purnima. Bodh Gaya wears a festive look on the day of Buddha Purnima. Lakhs of devotees are seen pouring at this most popular site. The statue of Buddha is bathed with holy waters and worshipped, honored and celebrated in several ways. Group meditations. People participate in group meditations and resolve to follow the teachings of their venerated master in letter and spirit. Buddha Purnima reminds of the great contribution of Buddha to the lives of men on the earth and serves to instill his message in the hearts of millions across the world. Activities on the day. Buddhists worship Buddha with flowers, incense, fruits and candles. The statues are given holy bath with holy waters. Buddhists undertake a lot of charity works on this day, including distribution of money, food and other utilities to the needy. Activities in different countries. In Gangtok, India, a special procession of monks is a very popular event on this day. In Japan, Buddhists decorate the statue of Buddha with spring flowers after performing a ritualistic bath. If you like this video, please share it and don't forget to subscribe.
Sir, you are muted.
Sir, you are on mute.
Yeah, okay, sorry for that. So we came to know about the different teachings of Buddha. We know about the history of Buddha. We came to know about the noble truths, okay, 4 noble truths and 8 fold paths as well. Along with that, we came to know about the relevance of teachings of Buddha in modern world. So among this, which do you think? Okay, just one of you can only tell which teachings do you really like the most? Which would you like to follow the most, and why? Like we came to know about the various teachings of Buddha, Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Paths. I will show that on the screen right now as well. So among them, like you can see, four noble truths over here. This number one from here itself. So these are the four noble truths, but I want you to tell about eightfold paths over here. Which do you like the most? The teachings, right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. You can think. Okay, so based on this, we would like to conclude today's celebration on Buddha Jayanti. Itself a part of social studies and a celebration of social studies. Since it's already time up, we don't want to take longer than your time. Okay, regarding this, we have some activities in the Google Classroom as usual. Okay, is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So that you will remember the course content within the celebration day also, and later on, it will be easier for you to also remember that dates. Okay, exactly. So I have kept some assignments. You can see that in the evening and complete it. It's a part of little reflection. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Bye, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Which one is the best?
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.